and welcome to BCC Virtual Racing and tonight's race, the Beaconsfield Crit Club race number 8 on the London Classique, course 22 kilometres long, with a long lead-in on this one. I think it's around 5 kilometres, let me just check. 5.7 kilometres, followed by 3 laps of 5.4 kilometres. This starts off outside the velodrome in the east side of London, past the Tower of London, and then follows the course of the Ride London Prudential Classique, a course ridden by the professionals. Large field tonight, some, let's have a look, about 30 riders from BCC, 74 others at the moment entered. Race starts in 45 seconds, starting with Category B riders. Largest field tonight, 15 riders from BCC. No camera on yet, just in case anyone's wondering, as I'm still eating my tea. And that will be on in a little bit later on. All to fight for, though, in the competition. And overall, in fact, Shannon has moved into first place, and Davis been pushed into third, with Stoneham still riding strongly in second place. Roland in fourth, Lancia in fifth. Davis complaining about not being on full form last week and has made the same excuse for this week, but I think there's a strong chance that Lancia could get ahead. 4 seconds to go now. And the riders are off. Let's see, the first one we can grab. Talking of Lancia, he just shot past on the screen there. The course is largely flat. One slight bump in the west end, but nothing to worry about. There's Gary Empson on screen now. His frantic first few minutes. .357 watts, heartbeats right up there, so he's certainly pushing hard right at the front of the field. Already, as you can see, stretching out over about 150 metres there. Just saw Davis, so Davis is up there at the moment, and there is. Just missed him, moving past very quickly. Have to wait until it settles down. On O'Brien at the moment. Had a good ride, I think, on Monday evening. Did he ride, in fact? He did. He was second, just behind Lancia. Davis was in third, and Campbell in fourth in Category B. Riding along the embankment at the moment. And Chris Brackey there. Just if I can catch him. I can't. Again, we'll wait for these riders to settle down a little bit. Darren Charles, I just saw, did he ride on Monday? Certainly I recall him beating Davis, maybe it was on the Thursday before. Scott Rowland, Category A in this group as well. Plenty of riders, but this is still the front of the race, 2 kilometres in, 2 minutes 30 seconds. There is Darren Charles. Barry Pedley, flying the Welsh flag. At 2.7k in. Saw Matt Tom go past there. One of 3 Cat A riders from BCC entered, but haven't seen the others yet. Or Scott Rowland I think I saw, but no Angus Stoneham. Brian Tarr in this group as well. So huge number of riders from BCC in this leading group. I do expect it to thin fairly soon. Adam Collier in there, riding from California once again. And while the front of the field settles down, actually we'll have a quick look further back down the course and see what's going on. If we can get there at least. There is Stoneham, actually, I just saw him somewhere in this bunch. So Stoneham is in the field, unless it was Marcus Stoneham, but I think it was Angus. Adam Collier, 4k in, and I think this, where are they? This looks like it could be the Strand. If I recall correctly, they do a U-turn just up here, and that is the 1k marker, just passing the riders on the left, Trafalgar Square in the background, so they'll do a U-turn here and head towards the finish line for the 3 laps. And there it is. Okay, and here I am on screen having finished my tea. Sorry about that, but I was quite hungry, so I can give my full attention to the race now. So let's have a look up front, see what's going on. 223 riders in the field in total, so a great David Dearlove there. Huge field, one of the best we've had for this, the 7th race in the Beaconsfield Cricket Club series. All typically are around the 18 to 22k mark. All will be fast. This is the finish, obviously not this lap, but up towards Buckingham Palace. The finish, once the riders come under Admiralty Arch, is visible. It's a lot further away than it looks. It's around 500 metres. I know that just by having measured it and ridden it as well in real life. Not good to sprint early. There is the finish line. And this is now where the riders start their 3 laps of the course following that very long lead-in. And already it looks as if that leading group has managed to pull away slightly from a chasing pack. Matt Tom still in there, Darren Charles doing very well right up the front with Cat A. I think he should be in Cat A really, but nonetheless that's where he is. As long as he beats Davis, I don't mind where he is. There's Lancia in the pack as well. Feeling good, no doubt. It's a flat course, should suit him very well. And he rides in the knowledge that Davis is claiming not to be at full strength, with some effects from COVID apparently, but quite why he's racing is beyond me if he's not fully recovered yet. Scott Rowland in here. There is Angus Stoneham for the first time in his customary position, sitting on the back of this bunch at 6.7k, 8 minutes in. Again, this is a tactic he uses. Other riders could learn from him. He has got a great winning streak in these races. Saving energy and saving as much as he possibly can. And you don't want to go up against him in a sprint. Just saw David Dearlove in there as well in this second group, another rider that another course that should suit this rider, I should say, in there with Empson as well. About a 30-40 metre gap between these two groups, and this chasing group will probably try and catch. Some might make the jump, bridge that gap. Others may not. But let's not focus entirely on the front, and I just see, just while we're here, I saw Jones. Albert May, nice to see him. Haven't seen him on screen for a while. May have been racing on a Mr. Ed Walker there from BCC. Another rare appearance as far as I recall. Alan Stracy in this group as well. So it looks like Jones, Walker, Stracy, May, White up just a little bit further ahead, 4 seconds further ahead. And let's have a look. We should see the chasing group come around the corner just now. There they are. Just up next to St James's now. And Oliver White, let's see, and Catsey was third on what day are we? Monday, behind Mark Shannon and Chris Reed. And it looks as if they are gaining on some riders in front, but increasing the gap to the riders behind, which includes Stracy. Let's just move a little bit further back in the field. Get some of the other riders in Catsey. Sampson by himself hasn't been able to hang on to that group in front of him. He's riding in Cat C, and there's quite a few, some D riders ahead of him. Not sure what's gone on there, but not really much behind him. And 9-10 seconds from the group ahead. So he now needs to make that difficult choice, either to slow up and join the people behind to save energy, or put in that effort to catch the group ahead. But in either case, sitting there by yourself is very draining and won't particularly work very well. There's Carmel just crossing the start finish line. I'm not sure who else we've got in Cat D. I saw Telford had entered, as did Slipper. Mark Littlewood, he should be in Cat B, there's no doubt about that, but hasn't done an awful lot of racing recently, so I can see why he's maybe there, but he's certainly as strong as many of those Cat B riders, without any shadow of a doubt in my mind. And mentioning Shannon, I haven't seen him yet on screen, but I'm sure he's there somewhere. There's Alex Walker in Cat B, so moved from Cat B. There's Wood in there as well, right next to him. Darren Wood, I'm sure that is. But Walker has had a go, and this is one of the small bumps, 5%. As I was saying, Walker's had a go on Cat A, Cat C, and now Cat B, which is probably where he's best suited. In fact, there is Shannon right next to him. And Mark Jury's in there, representing the Jury family tonight. Clearly hasn't gone too fast too soon, as his usual trait on this occasion. So let's have a closer look around this group. There is Mark Jury with Wood right next to him. Walker, Alex Walker is in there as well. Shannon is just towards the front of this pack. There he is. And he now, as I think I might have said earlier, leads the overall standings by 2.5 points over Angus Stoneham. Davis pushed into third place, Scott Rowland in fourth, O'Brien in fifth, I think it is. Oh, sorry, Lancia in fifth, then O'Brien in sixth. So Shannon riding very well, and I suspect he'll be following a similar game plan to the race on Monday as well. And Littlewood again as they go under the Flamme Rouge, 1 kilometre to the finish line. Not on this lap, of course. Now 10.3k in. By the time they hit that Flamme Rouge, they will have roughly another 11 kilometres to go. Oliver White 9.8k, 43 kilometres per hour. And further back in the field, the C's, Jones and May still together. There's May on the right hand side. Jones, I think, is the one in the yellow and black. Stracy seems to have dropped off that group. 12 seconds further back at 9.9 now. There he could see the group ahead of him, just slowly disappearing as they head towards Trafalgar Square on the Strand. And this, don't forget, is a crit race. Tactics are critically important in an event of this type. Losing touch, someone just stopped there, losing touch with the group, very hard to get back on. And also very hard to attack and get a break on a group. And these riders, Oliver White in this group, there he is. We'll get a view right now of the finish line. Looks as if Lancia has done the sprint there in so far in 7th place. Davis in 4th. Someone else in 3rd from BCC. Can't see who it is until the name scrolls across, but a good representation from BCC. And now, sometimes it lets me. I'm trying to go back through the field and back to the start. Stracy still by himself. The gap increasing. Carmel Lord at 8.2 kilometres. And this, I think, may well be the front of the field. Let's have a look. It's certainly distance-wise, looks like it. 13.3. Davis is in there, so very likely to be. Matt Tom, Cat A, riding well. 249 watts. A heartbeat at 175. So he's pushing on, but that's not stressing him too much, I would imagine. Lancia, on the other hand, let's have a look. Where is he? Disappeared off the screen again. Chris Brackey I saw in there. If I can click on one of them, I will do. There's Davis. There's Lancia. 329 watts, 330. And for him, 3.6 watts per kilo, 3.5. Darren Charles pushing 3.9 in the same group. Davis, of course, has mastered the art of not pushing too hard, 3.2. And O'Brien on 3.9. Stoneham 3.4, still sitting towards the back of the field. Oh, back of the field, back of this group, I should say. and at 14.3 kilometers coming up for 18 minutes. And one of the small bumps, is this Constitution Hill? I think it might be. Gets up to 6%, and that's about it. But it's a useful little hill when pushing towards the finish. Some power ups, quite a few coming out actually, and that's just a good indicator of the pace that's being held here. And as you can see there in this great aerial shot, just as the riders crest the top of that little slope, they've stretched out by another 150 meters just by going up that small incline. The incline in itself is not particularly steep, but at the pace these riders are going at, it makes all the difference. And it probably will come back together, but we'll see what happens. So that's the front of the field. Further back, looks as if O'Brien is towards the rear of this leading group, but hanging on. Charles is still in there, but beginning to drift off. Roland, much the same. So Roland, Charles, O'Brien, right at the very end of this leading group as they go around the corner, the 180-degree bend on the Strand now. So these riders have got to make a quick decision. Sitting with 4 or 5 bike lengths between each of you is not an effective strategy. But having said that, Charles is on 5.4 watts per kilo, so it's not for not trying. But make a decision quick, because sitting at this kind of pace by yourself in the full force of the air is not effective and will tire a rider quickly. But there he is, that effort was worth it. He's caught up with the peloton, got right in the middle, and for some reason is going straight out the front. That's even worse actually, after putting that kind of effort in. But I suspect he just overshot a bit. That often happens on Zwift, and now he'll just relax a little bit, come back into the field. Tom right next to him, O'Brien there as well now. Looks as if he came as well, came across that gap. Roland, I'm assuming, has bridged it as well. There he is, I just saw him. He has indeed. So they all got a little bit stretched on that incline, but they've all come back together as they as they cross the finish line. And one more time, next lap is the finish. So another 5k roughly to go. 5.4, 5.5, whatever it is. And the pressure is now on. At this kind of pace, this is less than 10 minutes of riding. Lancia. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to beat Davis one more time? That's what I really want to know. He's got the right size, shape, power. Everything is in his favour. A couple of wins over Davis. Davis still complaining he's not feeling fully well and fully recovered. Doesn't look like it, but that's what he's complaining about. Just as an excuse, I think. So this is all for Lancia to lose in that ongoing competition with Davis. Looking good on the bike there, though. And Group 2 now, as I'm calling them. So I think it will be Group 2. Empson. Yes, this is Group 2, about 49 seconds, I think, back from the leading group. So they did hang on for quite a while at the start, but slowly have drifted further back. And in fact, Empson may be in a group of his own. Can't see any other BCC riders around him. Next rider behind him is Dear Love, who is on, let's have a look if I can catch him. In fact, there's Collier. I'm sure Dear Love's here somewhere as well. Collier, I beg your pardon, 16.8k, 48 kilometers per hour. So it is is pushing on and is noticeably getting stronger on every ride. In fact, Pedley's in there as well. So is Taft. So Taft, Pedley, Collier, Dear Love may well be. He's disappeared off the screen for a moment. Someone called the bike doctor. There's Pedley and Shannon Walker. I think that's Alex Walker and Ed Walker. I think they're both in here. Might not be, hard to tell, but Shannon, let's have a look at Shannon. There he is, Mark Shannon. 17.1k in 23 minutes, coming up for 24 minutes, 47 kilometers per hour. Good collection of BCC riders in this group. Nothing really ahead of them and not too much behind them either. So this group now will likely stay in there. So Jury's in there. Alex Walker I've seen as well. Mark Littlewood is in that group. Shannon out towards the front though. He won't want to stay there too long. I'm sure he knows what he's doing. So there are at least 6 BCC riders in this group. So this will be a race to the finish, one to watch. That's Alex Walker. Seems to have found the right group to ride in. 2.67 watts per kilo. Heart rate 158. He can definitely push harder than that at his age, no doubt about it. Of course, not everyone's heart's the same. Some have high, some have low heart rates, but just based on the average, I've no doubt he can push on a bit, but he may well be saving as much of his energy as he possibly can. Mark Littlewood and Darren Wood I think is in there as well. Let's go back to the front as that part of the race is going to finish fairly shortly, and if I'm not careful I'll miss it. Just going past Collier. And what's happening here? Dear Love. Is he with anyone else? A small group of 10 riders. 3.3 watts per kilo. Right, let's have a look. Oh, I might have missed the finish. I might have missed the finish of that leading group, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, it happens sometimes, just trying to keep track of everyone. I'm just watching there in the finish line, just in case. And Alex Walker, 19k. Maybe the leading rider at the moment. Let's have a look. Collier. No, I can only imagine. Sorry for that. Sorry about that, guys. It looks like I missed the winners of the leading group. But here, Lancia Davis. 21.6k, heading towards the finish. Lancia and Davis right next to each other. Davis dropping off a little bit, but I think that's just the riders shuffling around. No one's going for a sprint yet. What's going to happen? Riders in front beginning to go. Lancia's up the par a little bit. Davis is not responding. Davis has just dropped right down to 0.3 watts per kilo. I didn't know it went that low. And Lancia looks as if he gets another win. So O'Brien will be crossing the line next. That was Lancia Davis, then O'Brien, Roland making a charge for it. Not going to catch O'Brien though, I don't think. Charles is now 26 seconds further back. Cruising by himself up to the finish line. No incentive to go any faster really, I don't blame him. Good effort there trying to hang on. And then chasing behind about 30 seconds further back in the Cat C bunch. We have Alex Walker, who's dropped off the main bunch of B riders, but it looks as if we have Littlewood, Jury and Co. Trying to work out who's in front now. I think it is Alex Walker out of this next collection of riders. We'll keep an eye on Littlewood's in there. Where is Shannon though? Oliver White further minute back. I can't believe Shannon is not further forwards than this. He must be. I just haven't seen him yet. Can't see him in this group. Barry Pedley, 21.3k, just as he's about to go under Admiralty Arch and spot the finish line in front. But there is Collier. In fact, Taff is further ahead still. Looks like Taff is going to take... Is he the first rider? Dear Love, actually. Look, there is Dear Love. Is crossing ahead of Taff. He will then be followed by Collier by the looks of it. There is Collier just about to cross the line. Then followed by Pedley is next up. There is Shannon. So what's going on here? Shannon, Walker, Alex. Have we got Jury? Let's have a look. Yes, Jury's in that bunch as well. So it looks as if Shannon so far was leading that group from a BCC perspective. Still is at the moment. Doesn't look as if anyone else is going to catch him. 5.7 watts per kilo, but riders behind are pushing out more power. Looks as if Shannon crossed that line first. Jones and May could be the next riders. Oh, there's Darren Wood actually, just gone under the Flamme Rouge. 21.1k, 31 minutes. This is a fast race. Probably one of the very fastest actually. And Stracey's still there as well at 20k. Not that I expected he went anywhere else, but still by himself. Sampson's in there too, 19.7. Let's see who's the front of the remaining riders. Could be Wood. No, it is. Looks like it's White. No, it is Wood. There it is. There is Wood, in fact. He's coming up to cross the line. 7 seconds further back is Oliver White. Let's just see how Wood does now. He's going to cross the line in sort of 32, 30, something of that nature. And White can see him in the distance, but is not going to close that gap down. Some of these riders around him putting out huge amounts of power. And then it looks to be Jones and May, in fact, is in there with him. So it's a competition at the moment between May and Jones. I wouldn't like to call this one. May is certainly, I think, capable of a bit of a kick, but then Jones is a very keen competitor. And in fact, does he pull ahead? Yes, he is ahead at the moment. Still ahead at the moment. And it looks to be if it might just be Jones that is going to take the line just ahead of May. Well done to him. Sampson. So he has just over 1 kilometre to go as he goes round the 180-degree bend on the Strand. We'll pass under the Flamme Rouge, just about to pop up on screen in front of him now. There it is. And from there, of course, 1 kilometre up to Trafalgar Square under Admiralty Arch on the sprint towards Buckingham Palace. And we'll just check, we won't follow all these riders to the very end, but we'll just check who else is still on course. I think it looks like Sampson is the last one as far as I can see. No, I tell a lie. Carmel, of course, is still there at 15.8k. Stracey's coming up to the finish line. I missed him. Still riding by himself. So it looks as if it's Stracey, Lord and Sampson still to finish. So we'll leave the coverage for tonight's race there. Thank you all for watching. Sorry I was eating something at the start, but that was necessary, and apologies for missing the leading group finishing. Happens sometimes, but better luck next time. See you all on Monday.